Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's
love. Your love wins out. I believe in love again.
I still believe someday you and me will fall in love
again. Y'all, this is Lip.
Sings that song. This is Lip. I am so angry you just thought of that last episode, and now we're done.
It's, you know what? It falls to me to do all the branding here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Y'all, this is Lip, the final episode of Love in Paradise.
It's reality gaze. I'm Maddie, and this whore beside me is Poodle.
This episode is called Baby Makes ... Two?
Okay, y'all, I said this on another episode, but spoiler, especially now, I think Aryanna has the cutest baby on 90
She has a really cute baby.
And he's even, now that he's older, he's even cuter.
Oh, I've only seen I haven't looked at any of the social media.
He has like a little more baby fat and stuff like that. Oh my God.
You mean now?
Yeah, like now on her Instagram.
You looked on...
Sissy sent it to us.
Okay, got it. I was like,
Someone
people haven't sent me baby pictures.
Someone said
they know
to me,
I'll just go, how could I take that baby's essence?
As someone said, because he looks a little bit like Sherlon, but they said, but he also doesn't look like an old sperm the way he looks.
Sherlon does look like an old sperm.
Like an old sperm, and I kind of enjoyed that.
Should we just... I have so much to talk about.
Just jump in.
I have so much to talk about.
Let's talk about Martine and Steven.
Now, I will say, I thought this was going somewhere else.
Did we get punked?
I want to say... Here's the thing. I want to say something before we jump into this. I want to say something about this series in general.
Okay.
It started off great.
Great.
In the first, I would say, 1 episode, 2 episodes, 3 episodes. By episode 4, it was like,
Where are we going?
Yeah.
Seems slow.
I think they could have done this in 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And I think there would have been less fat. I don't know what you're doing. Oh,
that's why.
But it's like, but the European model or the British model of doing shows is always like, do as few as possible. Everything is boom, 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 boom.
It's why their television's better.
And their television is public, a lot of it. So,
well, we don't live there, so
that's true.
Can't deal with it. They can't even, I don't even know if they can get, well, they can get Discovery Plus because they're going to be getting 90-day UK, y'all.
But that may be on their version of TLC, so I don't know.
I thought it's going to be on Discovery Plus.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Who cares?
We're going to cover it.
But
I don't care if Poodle has got to go across the pond and suck off a blimey. We're going to get it.
Suck off a blimey.
I don't know what that means. Rubbish.
A omen of the god.
We're gonna have to just get it out. Otherwise, we're just gonna be offensive to British people.
I think that's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but anyway, don't you think it could have happened in 6 episodes? I feel like the doldrums of this show were really hard.
I agree.
Because we just had to see Aryanna try to pressure Sherlon into marrying her for 4 episodes.
And try. We had a because they're in. Wait, where is he? Sherlon's in
Jamaica.
Jamaica, yes. Sorry, y'all. It's so much because then we have stuff in 90 Day. But we had a Jamaican sissy say that my mother would be horrified by his house. She said, no one goes into a Jamaican house and they have rat droppings. She said, everyone I knew in families like cleanliness is a big deal.
Yeah.
She said, horrified.
So my thing was, I think the series kind of turned itself around for me.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like they really ramped up the storytelling the last two episodes.
Yeah.
And like 90 Days, there's always some type of goal. There's also a moral, not in a moralizing way, but there's something we learn.
There's a what did we learn?
Yeah.
Kind of how have we changed?
And I was kind of like, how are they going to do this? And we finally got it.
I like this season of y'all. It's worth the watch. I think it's
it's a slog in the middle. Definitely,
It's definitely worth the watch because again, y'all, I'm calling it. Amber's going to be on 90 Day Fiancé. Ooh. This is not news. This is just our gut feeling.
She's going to be great TV.
She's going to be great TV, and I think I'm going to be surprised. I'm interested. You're probably not going to agree with me on some of the things I want to say about her today.
I'll just shout you down like normal.
That's what it usually does.
Martine and Steven. So, I think we were punked. So I'm like, I think these last two episodes were very massaged for us.
It's the thing with y'all. So, spoiler alert. He asked her to marry him, or he says, "I wanted to ask you, but now I'm second guessing myself." She basically says, "Well, you know, I think you're right. I don't think we're ready to get married." And you went, "Huh?"
I went,
"What?
Who is this, Martine?"
What? Almost say what?
But Martine, what? You came down here saying he's going to propose to me. So she's been intractable the whole season.
So his storyline has made sense.
Yeah.
Hers is not.
It's almost felt like she took Wise Up pills overnight.
Yeah, or like she jumped the seal. She just flipped it.
Jumped the shark?
Whatever.
What? Have you ever heard the expression "Wise Up pills"? We used to have a goat when I was younger. And my father would say, "Go over there and take some Wise Up pills. See his goat pills? Those are Wise Up pills. You eat some, you wise up never to eat them again."
I think that was just your father's expression, and that wasn't a real thing.
Possibly, kind of like your father's "pudding ain't pudding
unless you eat it."
I still don't know what that means.
I would love a little father poodle.
Friend,
kind of advice.
Have a little. He has so many advice.
Colloquialisms of father poodle.
Friend, no one can intimidate you without your consent. Friend. These are other things I read on a Laffy Taffy.
I wish I could remember because he gave me those when he was here.
He always does.
Y'all, I had to spend so much time with Poodle's family members. And the worst part is this bitch was in a coma and I had to do it alone.
That's true. I would know.
Wow.
Oh. And my mother hates all of his expressions.
Oh, yeah.
Just rolls her eyes.
She kind of just substituted me in for flamboyantly gay son while you were gone.
She needs to tell somebody.
I'm glad you didn't die. She probably would make me go to South Carolina every Christmas so she could guilt me.
So, anyway, so she says, "Can I tell you something? I'm relieved that again, this is one thing I thought is...
It's great. It's wonderful.
Did they film this like a week or two later?
It's like, y'all, this is someone who just was at a pool party 2 episodes ago saying...
accusing him of cheating.
Let's play Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
This was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, I agree.
To our mind, this feels like 2 days ago.
They were stretched to a breaking point. He didn't know what to do with her.
He just told her, I 80% wanted to marry you, and I 20% didn't.
And the Martine we saw in the beginning was very unreasonable and wasn't. She was like, I'm coming back either with no boyfriend or a ring. That was what she was saying.
Because he said, when she said, I'm very relieved right now, I've realized that we're not there yet. And I went,
who is this?
Oh, my God. And she said, it's the last thing we need right now. I think our relationship needed to mature for a little bit. And I went,
Did they bring in a therapist?
I'm so glad they came to this revelation. Too. It's wonderful, but I'm like, what the fuck?
But none of this was prefigured.
None of this.
Since, especially her change out of nowhere.
But now she's like, so now you need, why don't you move me out here? Why don't you move?
Or move me here, or we'll talk about you going to Miami.
Yes, Miami.
And so he says, and they're being fun.
Steven,
he's like,
I really like Steven. He's really sweet. He's like really emotional. He's like, I just don't want to lose you.
He's like, do you have a speech? And he's like, no, I want to talk to a test. So and then my favorite time when he's like, do you want to see the ring? She's like, no, otherwise you'll have to get a new one.
True.
That's a poodle move.
I wouldn't. I would take that ring again.
No, it's got to be a new ring. It's got to be a surprise.
Yes. So, in fact, I would tell her, hey, I took back the ring, and then I would just keep it.
Yeah, exactly. So she says, this is the other weird change. She says, I feel bad. I feel bad like I was confusing him the whole time.
So I feel
bad that I was sending mixed messages. And I wrote down, you have!
She has, but I did want to see a little bit of like her come to this process, and we didn't see that.
This was either a couple things happened. Either the pool party and other things like that were massaged or embellished, or and this was always the plan, or someone,
the Virgin Mary appeared in a dream and said, Martine, the dick isn't that good.
You need to get right.
Make smart decisions.
You're right, J-Lo.
You're right, J-Lo. She needed to get right.
She needed to get right. And I think, if this would have been different if we had a K, like Mark and Kay, because Mark had his friend, Genevieve.
Like it made sense why he had a kind of come to Jesus moment. If Martine was just like, I slipped on a coconut and it kind of hit me in my gooch. And I went, ow, that hurt. And then I went, wait a minute. Am I being selfish?
Someone threw a conch and hit me in the head with it.
Whoa. Maybe I need to give Steven a little more room.
It came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
And it did not seem like her personality, even from the beginning, allowed for this kind of change.
No.
So the other thing I was thinking about, if they would have just said, it seems like one thing where producers just went, so what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, what's happening?
What are we doing here? Because y'all, and that, sadly, that does happen on reality shows, especially when something has to end. We have to come to an end of something. Mm-hmm. And so that may have happened, or she got hit in the head with a conch. I don't know.
Or maybe this all did happen, but they recreated it, so it happened in a shorter span.
That is the easiest explanation.
So, and I say that for people to be like, is this fake? I don't think any of this was fake.
Yeah.
Because this is why it does make sense.
None of it's ever really fake.
Martine is a smart woman. She's not an idiot.
No.
She's got degree, like she has she really is developing her life into like this. She seems very responsible. So that's why it did seem weird that she was so just like.
But the show really took us through our paces of not liking her. Wow.
That's fine.
Oh, come on. You let loose on her.
I love Steven.
I liked him too.
I like him. I want to see him DJ.
Preferably. I thought you were saying I want to see him DP.
That too. Wicka, harder. We could do both.
How long since you heard a GJ with wicka? The mid-90s?
No, I was a very big fan of Run DMC, thank you. Isn't that new Drake album?
Oh, this is coming from the person.
He dropped a new album. Did you see that?
Yeah, name a single.
Leaves on the bars fall from the trees. Wicka.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So she says, or he says, I want to live with her, get married to her, have kids with her. Because this is the day she's leaving. He can't take her to the airport. because of COVID.
There's curfew.
And then she says, I want to be in a good, healthy place and not be attached by a piece of jewelry. Again, everything is like this perfect story now.
And you also kind of see, this is the first episode, really. You see that they have fun together.
Yeah.
You see, like when she's crying or when he gets emotional on the beach, she's like, I thought you were a baller. And he's like, I am a baller. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
And when she's crying, he's like, are those tears? And he's kind of teasing her. And like, he's like, smile. And she's like, I look like a hot mess. I went, wait a minute.
Right.
This is this kind of like sweet, young, relatable couple, and you see why they love each other. I never really got that this season.
Instead of the first time when a woman came up to him and you were sourpussed for 3 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because really, think about it. When in this story arc have you seen love between them?
Almost none.
This last episode.
Yep.
Whereas Daniel and Amber, we had that kind of middle episode where you're like, oh, I see why they're a couple.
Should we... Aryanna's the next one, but she's very long. Should we
we'll
just go ahead
her
and,
for last? Because, y'all...
I want to talk about Mark and Kay! I want to talk about Mark and Kay because love is alive! And you were wrong. Admit you were wrong. Admit you were lying. You were wrong. You were gaslighting me to think it wasn't good.
I was gaslighting you. I knew they were in love.
You knew they were in love. Love conquers all.
I did.
Was right. I want to whip my dick out and jerk it right now. Y'all, the birds are singing.
I do think they still
Kay, they've got a long way to go.
They've got a long way to go, and I don't think it's going to work out.
Are in love.
I'm telling you now.
You know what? Can you just be in the present?
Okay, she's going to go.
Bitch. Awful thing.
I'm just going to say, she's going to take a surf lesson with some guy or some woman, and shit's going to get weird.
I'm just going to talk about this because this is what happened. He's leaving today. And she's saying, I actually cried twice during this segment. Did you?
No, but
because you're just dead inside.
I did get goosebumps and teary at the airport.
I can't even talk about it. So I was like a schoolgirl watching this, y'all.
Yeah,
I was like leaning forward.
I got it figured.
So
it was good. Y'all, they are produced to perfection.
They really are.
Their storyline was perfect. The way it was produced.
So he's decided to accept the long distance, and he's like, yeah, then now we're just going to decide where we want to live. After he talks to his magical friend from home.
So now he does say, but I'm leaving, and I love Kay. I love her, and Kay doesn't love me. And I went...
That's a reductive thing to say.
I don't remember her saying that.
She said
I remember her saying that conversation about love, and there's many things inside of love. I thought she did love you.
This, I will say...
It pays off later.
This, oh my God, does it ever. This segment, all of their segments have been produced like almost this, like not a Nora Ephron movie, but a romantic Chris Columbus
You can't
comedy.
talk about Nora because you haven't seen Sleepless in Seattle.
That's true, I haven't. So they're basically saying, he says, I won't be okay with this arrangement forever. So they're going to let their relationship continue. So they're at the airport. She's crying. He's crying. She's really crying.
She says to him, she says,
I love Kay.
She says, I don't want to say goodbye to Mark. And she said, I'm going to miss you a lot. And that's when she's crying. He said, I'll miss you too. And let me set it up for you, Poodle. And so she's crying. She's like heaving
I
sob.
can be myself with him. She doesn't
finally
judge me.
She takes some breaths. She breathes in. She breathes out. She pulls her mask down. The tears fall from her face. Mark wipes a tear from her cheek, and Kay says,
I'm in love with you. And then he says, Te amo.
He finally learned Spanish.
I'm crying now.
When he said Te amo, I literally almost dropped my computer, and I just went, it was just, could not have been more perfect.
I was in disbelief.
And I almost texted you, but I went, I don't want to build you up. I just want you to experience it.
I had to sit here in a minute and just like slowly whimper.
Y'all, that was like, it was the thing only I can relate it to, because let's be honest, y'all.
This is like when Mr. Darcy came walking through the field at Elizabeth.
Never seen that movie. I don't know who
or
Mr.
read the
Darcy
book.
is.
Pride and Prejudice,
I
troglodyte.
haven't read the book or seen any of the movies.
Again, I guess you read... I don't know.
I read Snoopy's Last Christmas. That's a good one. That's what we read at Senior English.
Snoopy's Last Christmas. Spoiler alert.
The book didn't get published. It's when Snoopy has a heart condition, so it's his last Christmas, y'all. Charlie Brown.
They read, Are You My Mother?
Are You My Mother?
Oh, spoiler alert. It's not about the mother.
But it is like that, or it's like when y'all call it basic, we make fun of it now, but it was like when we all saw Jerry Maguire and she said, "You had me at hello."
It's a great line.
When she said it, we laugh at it. But what did you do when she said that in that movie?
Burst into tears.
Yes. Or like when she said, "Paint me like one of your girls, Jack."
Paint me like one of your French girls.
What did you do when you saw that?
I think I was in the bathroom at that point because the movie was so fucking long.
I did see Titanic like twice.
I did see it twice in the theater, mostly because I had a friend who hadn't seen it yet, and she was a queer dear. And
is this our mutual friend?
No, another one. But
another one.
Did not want to see it without.
Is this the brown hair, curly hair woman?
No, another person.
Well, we've had a lot of queer tears in our life.
She's like, I won't see it without you.
But did you love it the second time?
You know, it wasn't as good.
Well, there you go.
I knew how it was going to end. Anyway, Kay
but
says,
it was like that.
Kay says, we're building something new, and I want it to continue, and we don't know. This building's just starting to learn, walking with fire without a burn. They're covering each other like rent. This was a beautiful story.
It was.
If you didn't love this story, don't come at me. I don't want to know about it. You won't convince me. I swear to God, this was beautiful. I love both of them. I had my problems with him. I thought he was very, very selfish, very entitled, trying to get her to move. I don't know if that was massaged a bit to make everything a little bit. I don't think it was. But boy, this was a perfect ending for them. Because now it's not like she didn't move with him. He didn't move to her.
No.
They're like,
they're still fucking other people.
It's perfect for me.
But she does say, she gets in the cab, I love Mark. I want
my Mark. Am I Kay or Mark?
Or
am I her slutty friend, Vicky?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who am I the monkey throwing shit at them?
I think, yeah, that's more you.
Yeah.
But she says when she gets to the cab, she's like, I want to be with Mark. Anyway.
Oh, I'm still crying about it.
Y'all, let's talk about everybody's favorite mom, Daniel and Amber. I'm Amber.
This episode almost made me like Amber. And I'm saying,
okay,
that
then
is
maybe
something.
we're agreeing on this because this is, okay, so here's the deal. And we kind of talked about this before. Amber, it's like what we're talking about 90 Day Fiancé now. Y'all, Ari's gross.
Yeah.
Ari's a POS. Okay? She is. She's selfish. She's a narcissist. Amber is I think, a good person who's riddled with anxiety and so
I agree with you.
Because when you see now that she knows everything's going to be okay, the fact that this is one of the first people we've seen on 90 Day Fiancé say, of course I want his family to come over. I want to help his brother.
Yep.
Of course, this is his life.
Yep.
And I went, wow, we have not seen a lot of people say this on 90 Day Fiancé.
I think he is.
I honestly kind of relate a lot to Amber. I could have been Amber if I did.
You kind of are still.
If I didn't have therapy in my late 20s, I would totally be Amber.
It didn't work as well as you think.
By the way, I'm going to send you that house cleaner info that I wanted you to get done.
What I would say about her, he is a once-in-a-lifetime person for her. And not the fact that she doesn't deserve it. Mm-hmm. It's the perfect combination of someone who she can be herself with. She can also kind of build up, and he is not, he's kind of tolerant of it.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you other men who she was with, were fixer-uppers as well. Mm. But he has a really good heart. I think he loves her.
I think they both do. I think they both really love each other. They have good hearts. They just got now, granted, one day, if and when they have children, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
She's going to either need to dial it down or all that anxiety is going to get real bad.
Can you imagine a pregnant Amber?
No, also, Amber, I'm going to get,
it's going to be rough.
I'm going to give them some advice now. Move away from your family in Florida.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe move at least an hour away.
So Amber does say, David, the brother, we're going to get you.
God, he's cute, brother.
Oh, my God. Both of them are.
Oh, yes.
They are, Amber, or Daniel and Stephen are the hottest guys. They're so hot.
Yeah.
I think this season
had the hottest guys.
Some of the hottest guys.
Because Mark is cute too.
He is. Sherlon, I don't know. Doesn't really do it for me.
On the pic I saw on Twitter did it for me.
That sneaky snake.
Oh boy, y'all.
You know, a sneaky snake can be a little unruly though in the bedroom.
Oh man, I'm just gonna say this. You don't need a cough drop if Sherlon's fucking you. He will scratch that itch. Wow.
So, David, they're going to get him. She says, don't worry. We're going to get you to Florida. We're going to get you to be with your brother. And she says, she's like, I can't believe Daniel's making the sacrifice to leave his brother behind, who has been with him. She
starts to cry.
I teared up during this segment.
I got emotional too. I did too.
I have not remembered in a long time has a 90-day show made me get teary.
It's been a long time since we cared about people in 90 Day Fiancé.
That's the truth.
You know what I do like this show?
I haven't cared about Jenny and Submit in a really long time.
Well, what I do like about this show is it's kind of why, even though I'm worried, but it kind of is a little bit of the Ellie storyline, but 90 Day Fiancé, the main show, we make fun of them, but everybody's a cartoon character.
Yeah.
This was, I feel like, real people trying to find love. It was kind of like the first couple of seasons.
And it's based on this question, this ethos of, do people who find love in paradise, quote unquote, in the Caribbean, in some place other than their backyards, where life is magical, can they bring it into reality? And that is so interesting.
That is, even Daniel even says, I thought we would have some beers and some amazing, passionate, hot sex. And when he said that, Poodle went somewhere.
And I imagined him banging me with his substantial dick.
I did too. I just imagine him like banging me with like an Australia in his hand and just maybe spitting it on me a little bit.
Jesus.
Okay, sorry. I went to a place.
Not even the spitting like you are.
You just said in the last podcast you don't swallow when you give blowjobs because you like to play with it.
Hey, finger paint. It's there.
Sorry, y'all.
Like to play.
So but then he says, I didn't think it would go this far. And then he hugs Amber and you just see his beautiful bicep just kind of, golly, he's hot.
What I would do to his body.
So yes. So
now she's still ambering him on the way there.
Actually, y'all, in best 90-day fashion, they end this segment with just typical Amber. And so like, I think this is the best way to do this, y'all. Okay. We'd like to bring you a lip theater. We should have like
that was on steel drums.
Yeah. I'll be playing the role of Amber. Poodle will be playing the role of Poodle. And Daniel. And scene. All right.
I love you, baby.
I love you too. I'm so glad we got that settled.
It's all going to be fine.
Now
let's
we can
live
relax.
in the present.
All right,
let's live in the present.
Let's just sit here and be quiet.
Yeah.
You went to the vet, right?
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to do that.
The shot records. The shot records.
Going to do that tomorrow.
For Barky.
Yeah. I love Barky. He's coming with me. Yes.
So you got what you need for that.
Yeah, all his stuff.
So we'll have to get him a collar. You got to order him a collar. It's got to have one of those little things.
I think we already have he's got a twist tie for a collar right now.
Are you falling asleep? Wake up, Daniel. Daniel, wake up.
It's fine.
I tell you these things and
you're driving me crazy.
But you got to go to the vet. You got to get in this collar and you got to have this pin because you got to put the pin on the collar. If they lose him at the airport, then Barky's gone.
I think I'll know Barky.
Okay. Did you get a suitcase? Oh, I should have brought a suitcase.
I have a suitcase.
I don't know why I didn't bring. I guess I'll have to send it to you.
Babe.
Amazon. I'm just saying.
We've got this.
Sometimes you need a little kick in the ass.
And scene. She went off on the dog collar for a good 30 seconds.
And what I love is you see that she just can't help herself.
She also kind of got it that she was going she was having a meltdown.
But I think it's like Pavlovian now, or Pavlovian.
Pavlovian.
As soon as she started going into that, did you see literally Daniel's eyes just started to get heavy? Yeah. Or maybe it's car rides. But he literally just was going, yeah, babe.
I think he knows what to tune out and just to let her spiral. And she just needs to get it out.
She does.
I'm hoping she will, when she's controlling her environment a lot better in America, that she might settle a bit. But who are we talking about? It's going to be Amber.
Amber, if you're listening, we
and she's
really
going
like
to be
you.
gaslit by her sisters and family.
Amber, go to BetterHelp.com and you can use code RealityGaze. I think
she could do a lot with BetterHelp.
You know what?
I feel for your therapist, Amber.
But she reminds me of a lot of girlfriends that I know that kind of had in their late 20s, early 30s, had anxiety, and then sadly, and y'all, if you're one of these moms, listen to this and take this into consideration. As soon as you have kids,
your anxiety triples
because you're so scared about your kid dying.
Yeah,
and 2 or 3 of them, that's what finally made them go to therapy and change their life. So if you're a high anxious Amber,
think about therapy.
Think about therapy, and I say this: you're not going to talk about your mommy issues. If you go for anxiety, a therapist can actually say, "Do these things."
Yeah, let's
like
talk
a
about
CBT therapist. So there you go. There you go. I'm not going to lecture you anymore. Shall we? Ooh. Did we not do a couple this one? Did they wrap up a couple last episode?
No, there was only 4.
There's only 4. Okay.
That's why I'm saying could have been done 6 episodes.
I think I'm combining Ellie and Victor into this.
Shocking.
She's in Providencia.
That you would combine anything.
Let's talk about Aryanna and Sherlon. All right.
Let's just get through it. I honestly, we kind of knew where this was going. It's
actually, I don't think this will take long because they just drew out these beats.
Y'all, the hospital, she's at the hospital. The baby isn't due for 3 months, but the blood work was abnormal. She has preeclampsia.
Yeah. Which is a blood pressure thing.
Yeah, he's FaceTiming Sherlon, and he says, hopefully he can stay in there another 37 weeks. I'm like, no, that's not the case.
That's not going to happen.
But 24 hours later, there's an emergency C-section.
Yep.
And the baby's out. The baby's heartbeat drops. And they're like, thank God we were in the hospital because who knows what would have happened because there was the umbilical cord was around the baby's neck.
No, not around his neck. There was a knot in the umbilical cord.
I think my version is more dramatic.
Something that really... Jesus. Y'all, the baby's born 3 pounds, 3 ounces. And
that's tiny.
And they did a really, at least for production, good way of showing that because you see the little baby and then you see Aryanna's hand.
Oh.
And her hand literally covers the entire baby. He's so cute. This was very moving and very scary. And we're doing this with Lauren right now. Doesn't Lauren and Alex, their child is still in the NICU, I think.
Now, thing is, we knew they wouldn't be filming it if the child didn't survive.
We knew this.
Like I said last episode.
But
what did I say?
That they just...
No, I said something like, What if the baby didn't make it?
Said that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not that dark of a show. But it's still, my first nephew was in the NICU for like 18 days, and I was just an uncle. So I can't imagine for her and for moms watch it. It's
a very tiny baby.
And it's really sad that y'all, she's going through this without the father. Like he's not even there. I mean, at least she has her mother.
I think it will, this is going to teach her something. And we learn a little bit later.
Yeah, I think so too. I
think it's better because I think if he had been there, she would have been obsessed. The whole thing would have been getting him bonding with the baby instead of her own thinking about the situation.
Yes. We'll get to that later. So, I mean, y'all, she did name the baby Odin.
Odin!
And she gave...
I kind of like Odin. Is that weird?
No, I like that name.
Yeah.
Because it's an old name, but it's not like a...
And they gave him his last name, Sherlon's last name.
Yeah. They call him OJ, and I'm like...
Don't know if that's going to work.
Too soon.
Also, it feels a little weird for a white-presenting woman to have a baby, and you're calling the baby OJ.
Also, if I had a son, y'all, my partner is black, and if we had a child, I don't want a black son walking around America, and I'm calling him OJ.
Exactly.
And if you don't think OJ killed his ex-wife and her boyfriend, you're wrong. Don't come for me on that. Carl!
Oh, no!
My boys are wrong about something. I want to send them a letter, Carl. It was a conspiracy.
If the glove does not fit, you must have quit.
Must quit. You know what? That just kind of clicked something for me. And I went, wait a minute. If people are dumb enough to think that O.J. Simpson didn't kill his ex-wife, no wonder they don't take vaccines.
Yeah.
That really kind of like, you know how you think, why would people think this way? We've had dumb people for years.
People been dumb for a very long time.
Very long time. Not that I'm the smartest.
So I thought this was really sweet when the mom is showing Sherlon pictures of the baby and his face. She's like, can you get his face? And he says, it's daddy, baby. And he said, I wanted him to hold on to my fingers and say, daddy's got your back. I did cry at this.
It's very
I cried the entire episode.
You do see that
he cares about his child.
I don't think he's a shit guy either. No. He's a fuck boy.
Yeah.
And but I don't, he cares about his son. And he was so, they took his last name and he said, what an interesting story. Y'all, because people were like, wait, he's a Viking.
Viking stuff, yeah.
Yeah, his great-great-grandfather was Scottish.
And shipwrecked in Jamaica. Which makes sense.
So he said, I may be a little chocolate, but there's some Vikings in there.
Which explains for me because how I've always been attracted to Vikings and horned helmets.
Where's this going?
Because my people are actually from my 23andMe says I'm 23%, or not 23%, like 30, 40 something Scotch and British Isles. So I have Viking in me too.
Okay. Are the Vikings from Scotland?
No. But that was long ago. They all basically settled those edges. The Vikings basically were the ones who settled the Scandinavia. They were in boats and went all the way up there.
So you're sure though you're Viking?
Yes.
You're not just making a blanket statement.
No.
All right.
No.
Okay.
That's why I love things about Vikings. Not that they're swarthy.
Yeah.
And rough.
Okay.
With their beards.
All right.
Good at battle.
Okay.
Girthy.
You do love to set things on fire.
I do.
So maybe you're right.
Love a good water burn burial.
He loves a funeral pyre. Fire. Especially if it's Nicole.
Fire.
Y'all, think about this. If you're watching Love or Lockup, they made a coffin for Nicole Jr. and set it on fire. Sometimes I just laugh about that.
I don't know if that was Deontay's friends or his idea or someone in production, but it doesn't matter.
I sometimes just think about it and just laugh.
I laughed like a fool when I saw it. So, anyway, the baby is adorable.
The baby's very
cute. And she's home. He also had a double hernia surgery.
Let's go through this, y'all. He had a double hernia surgery. He had a stomach infection. So, y'all, she went over this, but if he had a stomach infection, guess what that means? That means he's not eating. That means she's trying to get him to eat. It's already enough. You remember,
it's stressful as fuck for her.
He needed a blood transfusion. I wrote, God bless this woman, because this is so much she's having to go through on her own. But like you said, I think
she's realizing that she doesn't need it.
She says, this has been all on me. It's really hard.
And she's been both parents, and she can do it. She has the strength of both parents.
I can do this. When she said that line of, and if Sherlon can come over, great. If not, and this made me cry. When she said, I will love this baby for both of us.
Thank God she said that.
That made me cry when she said that.
And also, she's living with mom. Thank you. Thank you, God.
Thank you, God. And they have this conversation. It's not really going all. It's the same old conversation of mom's worried he's not going to show up. Mom does finally say, she kind of basically,
you got to make a plan. Doesn't matter. She's like, yes, you need to ask these things, but you have to make a plan for your life.
You've got to plan what you're going to do. He can fit into that. You can't wait for him.
A great wrap up of her story.
It was. I will say this, y'all. Aryanna did mom dirty. Because Aryanna didn't tell mom to fix the back of her head when she was cooking. She took a nap before the film crew came down, and it was just this flat little spot.
I know.
Y'all, a good friend tells you to tease the back of your hair.
Karen's hair hasn't been good this
It's like
season.
Darcy and Stacy. Darcy leads. You haven't seen this episode yet, but there's another just. I was watching it with my boyfriend, and he said, "Ooh, she got tracks." Because that's what they call it, tracks of their hair. It was bad. Oof. It was bad.
So,
y'all, I don't know. I'm just saying this. I don't know what fucking happened on that plane to Turkey, but Darcy and Stacy look rough. It's bad.
Even when they get off the plane?
Oh, yes.
Yikes. So, she's FaceTiming with Sherlon later, and she says, Sherlon says, I cannot put a number on how much I love
that was very sweet.
The baby. And this is the thing. Aryanna's still throwing things like, look, Odin, is that your dad over there or a stranger?
They're a stranger.
Passive aggressive. So y'all, Aryanna's still kind of a little shitty.
Yes.
And she's going to be.
It just wasn't.
We also find out she's going to bring Odin down
to him 6 months later.
6 months, yeah.
So that's probably, she said, the only way. That's the only way. And but she does, while she's on the thing, she says, we're excited to come see you. He said, I can't wait. She said, well, do you know how hard it's going to be to say goodbye to him? Come on, Aryanna. Come on.
I think
we get it.
I think for her to be complete, sadly, she has to be needed by a man.
I think she needs that too.
And she now thinks she can be a parent, but I think as a woman, she thinks she has to be with someone to feel like a woman.
I think not even a woman. I think she thinks she needs to be with someone to feel like a family. And y'all, families look different for everyone.
I think her and her mom,
single dad and their
will
two
raise
kids
that baby really well.
Yes, her mom and her, that's a family. But Aryanna does say it. She says, I was terrified, but now nothing could scare me anymore. And they're sitting on that. She said, in a perfect world, we would have a real family. And I wish she would let that go.
It's not a perfect world.
But they just pan out, and she's just sitting on that park with her baby. And I went,
it was sweet.
It was like, this was such this beautiful, like, this American life of people trying to find love.
I will say the way they packaged these storylines were a lot less messy than the normal 90 Day.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not having to tell all of this.
No,
I don't want to tell.
No.
It would ruin the way it ended.
I think because this was,
maybe that changes too. sorry to interrupt, but
No.
I just want to say maybe that changes because they ended it with the show, whereas on 90 Day Fiancé, they know they're having the tell-all, so it's almost like let's build to the tell-all, and let's hope that a tell-all will be the finality everybody needs. But you very
it's much
rarely
easier.
You
really let the tell-all do it.
You never get though that feeling of completion from a tell-all.
No, you don't.
Because these people are in the moment and there's too many people.
God, remember that Happily Ever After Zoom tell-all?
Boy.
I will never forget that.
That was bad.
And just Larissa and Eric going, stop, bitch!
Stop, bitch! Bitch! Bitch!
Sean Robinson's like, what? What?
Y'all, if anybody who listens to this show that does anybody from 90 Day Fiancé who produced the show listen to us? I don't think they. Oh, wait. No. This is on Patreon. And
Matt Sharp doesn't let him out.
They really don't pay for this. I was going to just say, do season 2 like this. It was great.
I agree. That's the show, y'all. That's the series, y'all.
That's the series of Lip.
This has been Lip.
First season. I'm sure it's going to. I hope this does air on TLC.
I think they will air it.
I hope so too. Y'all, we appreciate y'all jumping in with this.
Although there's only 8 episodes, so it might not be commercially viable for them.
They'll sell anything. We watched 90 Day Quarantine where people filmed on their cell phones.
That's the truth.
They're going to air it.
Yeah, you're right.
Y'all, we appreciate y'all jumping in with this. I want to say some of you are asking if we're going to cover Bearsall. We never cover Bearsall. Only because to cover every episode, there's kind of not that much. So a lot of it, y'all, is like...
It's more gossip than anything else.
So we always say if there's a moment in Bearsall that you thought was really great that you want us to watch, we kind of check in and watch it. Maybe we'll talk about it.
And maybe we'll talk about it. But like Courtney's stepping on things.
Had to watch Courtney.
Yeah.
And there are some moments, but y'all let us know.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. So
how do we sign this off? Oh no. I know what it is.
What? Oh God. Y'all, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places?
Yes, and if you believe that love is real, and you can say Te Amo at the airport and I burst into tears. Or you're dead inside like someone to my left and doesn't care about anything.
Again, she's going to get on a surf lesson in San Diego and fuck a guy named
Don't
Fad.
say it. Don't say it.
She's going to fuck a guy named Fad.
They are beautiful. Call us!